That's a good way to start the day. Very nice. All right. It's cold outside. I believe when I went out earlier, it felt like 30. I believe it's what it said. Good morning. It is a Monday morning, the 11th of January, believe it or not, 2021. I hope you're having a good morning so far. I hope you were able to wake up in vim and vigor and ready to take on the day. Otherwise, you may be having a one of those mornings where you're not looking forward to this day. You're like, oh no, it's a Monday or whatever. Maybe you have something coming up a little bit later on you have to take care of today. We're going to be going over quotes for a stressful day. How about that? Quotes for a stressful day. I put the link on the comments, so you can check it out for yourself. If you have to take log off early or whatever, you can check them out for yourself later. It's from success.com. So we're going to be talking about quotes for a stressful day today on a Monday, almost mid January. And the article, which is by the Success staff, starts like this. It says, "Stress doesn't feel good." Well, that's pretty simple, right? Stress doesn't feel good. When you're feeling the pressure, when you've got worries on your mind and anxiety in your heart, it can be hard to see through the blur, but you've got this. Sometimes it just takes a gentle reminder of what's true and what matters, and that this too shall pass. Turn to these quotes on a stressful day. All right, here we go. Let's kick it off this morning, nice and early, warm beverage in our hand, with quote number one by someone, and don't let this stress you out, someone who is unknown. Don't worry about it. It says, "Don't stress the could haves. If it should have, it would have." It's one of those almost like unanswered prayers, right? Could have, could have this, could have that. If it should have happened or should have occurred, it would have occurred. Why? Because whatever your path your life is taking, it's what it's meant to be at this moment in time. That's what I take that as. If you didn't do something that you thought you were going to do, or, oh, I could have. And there are going to be regrets in life, you know? And usually it's stuff that you didn't do that you're going to regret. But if it should have, it would have. That was the first quote. Don't stress the could haves. If it should have, it would have. Unknown. Number two, Wayne Dyer says, "You cannot always control what goes on outside, but you can always control what goes on inside." I was reading somebody's post, I believe it was yesterday, an acquaintance of mine, and they posted something to the effect of reaching a specific age, and how they kind of felt like maybe that's not where they weren't where they needed to be, weren't happy with their job, kind of took some steps backward, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I told her, I go, fill your head with positivity and try and balance it out. You know what I mean? Balance it out, balance your life out, and get through it. Because, like the article said at the very beginning, this too shall pass. When you look back in your life, how many things have you gone through in your life, whether small or large, that they seemed insurmountable at the time, but now they're in your rearview mirror and you got past them? You cannot always control what goes on outside, but you can always control what goes on inside. What kind of mindset do you have? What kind of reinforcement are you giving to your core of strength that you have inside? What kind of reassurance are you giving your heart and your purpose in life? How clearly are you defining what you want to happen and what you want to do and what you want to achieve in your life? You can always control what goes on inside. I literally have a friend of mine whose son started like a clothing brand, and he's like a teenager. He controlled what was going on inside. Said, "This is what I want to do," and they got it done, and they're doing it right now. 40 vert, 40 vert, 40 vert, and that's awesome. You cannot always control what goes on outside, but you can always control what goes on inside. Are you feeling doubts? Reassure yourself with your accomplishments that you've already achieved. List, get a piece of paper. Why are you licking your finger if your pen's over here? Um, List your accomplishments. What have you done in your life? If you were to list your accomplishments, small or big, you would be shocked at the amount of things that you have accomplished in your life. You'd be shocked. I somebody Victoria Davenport. We did an exercise. Awesome lady, and she told us write down your successes. And writing them down, you realize how many things you've done, and how many things you've forgotten that you've done, or you don't even take into account anymore because it wasn't that big. I don't know if it wasn't that big of a deal, but in the grand scheme of things, that accomplishment, you kind of set it aside. So you got your participation trophy or whatever, or your first place ribbon, whatever, and you set it aside without reminding yourself that you have accomplished something, that you have succeeded something, and you will continue to succeed. So when you're thinking about having a stressful day, you cannot always control what goes on outside, but you can always control what goes on inside. Remind yourself. Remind yourself of your successes. Remind yourself of your achievements and things that you've done and the lives that you've touched. You cannot always control what goes on inside, but you can always control outside, but you can always control what goes on inside. Wayne Dyer. Benjamin Franklin said, "Do not anticipate trouble or worry about what may never happen. Keep in the sunlight. Keep in the sunlight. Don't dwell in the darkness, in the dark recesses of your mind, the dark rivers of your heart. Don't dwell in there. Don't anticipate trouble or worry about what may never happen." Now, don't confuse that with not preparing for something, not preparing for eventualities. What this is, I feel this is talking about is more of the abstracts. What if? Oh, this is going to happen. You don't even know. You don't even know. Don't worry about the things that might happen, that may never happen. And that's sometimes, in some cases in my life, I feel that was what anxiety was born of. Anticipating trouble. Never came. Worrying about what may never happen. Never happened. Keep in the sunlight. Remind yourself to walk in the sun. Bathe in the radiance, even if it's metaphorically, in the sunlight. Do not anticipate trouble or worry about what may never happen. Keep in the sunlight. Benjamin Franklin. A. Milne, through Christopher Robin in the Winnie the Pooh stories, said, "You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think." Remind yourself of that. A lot of the fuel that can get us past stressful days or days that bring us down are us reminding ourselves, going back to that previous one, reminding ourselves of who we are, what we have succeeded at, and what we have achieved. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem. And that one is a very, very key portion of that quote. Stronger than you seem. Nobody knows what you've gone through. Nobody knows what you've put up with, what you've dealt with and gotten through. You are stronger than you seem. Only you know how strong that core of strength is inside of you and how you've fortified it and made it stronger than anybody would ever believe. But only you know that. But you also need to remind yourself of that. Sometimes we do it without thinking about it. We get through something and we're strong and we deal with it and we shoulder it, and then we forget. We forget that we do that, that we did that. And last but not least, smarter than you think. Experience. whatever experience you have in your life, including those things that you had to take on and that you dealt with and that you achieved and you accomplished, that's experience, real world experience. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. Christopher Robin, as written by A. Milne. Martin Luther King Jr. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Three key words expressed over and over and over and over and over again. How much truer do they need to be for you to realize the importance of those last three words when it comes to living your life? When it comes to getting through a stressful day, stressful time, stressful situation, keep moving forward. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. Martin Luther King Jr. Anne Frank. Everyone has inside them a piece of good news. The good news is you don't know how great you can be, how much you can love, what you can accomplish, and what your potential is. It would be interesting to know how old Anne Frank was when she wrote that, because that is a very mature, deep thought. Very mature. Everyone has inside them a piece of good news. The good news is you don't know how great you can be. You don't know how much you can love until you do. What you can accomplish until you set your mind to it and put action behind it. And what your potential is until you unleash it. How great can you be? How much can you love? What can you accomplish, and what is your potential? Very few times in existence, in the grand scheme of things again, will someone's greatness be discovered for them. Their capacity for love, how is somebody else going to discover that? The level of accomplishment that somebody can achieve, how is somebody going to unravel that? And how is somebody else going to tap into the potential inside of somebody? That's all on you. That is all on us as individuals to realize how great we can be, how much we can love, what we can accomplish, what our true potential is. But we have to ask ourselves those questions. We have to ask ourselves what our purpose is, what our why is, our reason, and what we are going to allow to hold us back. We have to ask ourselves that. Everybody is on their own individual journey. Yes, there are mentors. Yes, there are people pushing others up, helping others up. I try to do it. But ultimately, your journey is your journey. And my journey is my journey. And you are in your own company more than you are in the company of others for the most part. Especially in the company of your own mind. Which is why we talk about these types of quotes, to remind us of how we feed our mind. Everyone has inside them a piece of good news. The good news is you don't know how great you can be, how much you can love, what you can accomplish, and what your potential is. And Frank. Barbara Kingsolver, or Kingsolver. Stop a minute, right where you are. Relax your shoulders, shake your head and spine. Shake your head and spine like a dog shaking off cold water. Tell that imperious voice in your head to be still. That voice that is causing you grief and stress and anxiety. I'm going to have to try that out. I should try that in public. Stop a minute right where you are. Relax your shoulders. Shake your head and spine like a dog shaking off cold water. I don't know how they do it, how they go from the top of their head all the way to their tail, and like it kind of looks like a succession. I don't know how they do that. That's awesome. Tell that imperious voice in your head to be still. Cállate. Hush. Quiet. Barbara Kingsolver. Or Kingsolver. Eckhart Tolle. Oh, this is a good one. All right. Ready? This is a good one. Eckhart Tolle. Life isn't as serious as the mind makes it out to be. Wow. That's some good stuff right there. Life isn't as serious as the mind makes it out to be. Wow, it all goes back to how we choose to dwell on things, how we allow our mind to decode all the information that comes into us. You know, it's like turn off your television because all we're seeing is doom and gloom a lot of the time. And if that's all you're bombarded with, that's all you're going to be thinking of. Whereas if you spend some time looking for positivity or videos of man, my faith in humanity has been restored, or videos of life's inherent beauty, you know, positivity, good thoughts, good, what do I want to do to change the world in a positive way? What actions am I going to take? Who am I going to affect positively? Who am I going to bless today? Who am I going to call today just to let them know that I'm thinking of them? And what a great and happy and wonderful impact they made in my life. Life isn't as serious as the mind makes it out to be. Control what's going on inside. Eckhart Tolle. Mother Teresa, we ourselves feel that what we are doing is just a drop in the ocean. But the ocean would be less because of that missing drop. Wow. Wow, I had never heard that one. Any container filled with liquid, even if it's poured in and one, like, you know, as fast as possible, is a collection of drops. If we look at everything good in the world and the level where it's at, it's a collection of drops, a collection of good things that we've done, that you've done, that many people, millions of people have done throughout time. Imagine if one of those drops was taken away. Another drop was taken away. 100 drops were taken away. 1,000 drops were taken away. 1,000,000 drops were taken away. 1,000,000,000 drops were taken away. How much lower would that be? We ourselves feel that what we're doing is just a drop in the ocean. What does that mean? To me, it means sometimes we feel that what we do is insignificant, that what we do doesn't really affect things in the grand scheme of things. We feel like we're not making a difference. We're not, I'm not Angelina Jolie. I'm not Elon Musk. I'm not Mahatma Gandhi. You know, I'm not Pope Francis. But the ocean would be less because of that missing drop. Everything we do adds to the accumulation of goodness. If we can become a force for good, even if it's one time to one person, you are adding a drop to the good, the ocean of good. Be that person to add one more drop, because the ocean would be less because of that missing drop. We need you. Every single moment we're alive is a chance at rebirth. That's what I say. Choose to do something good for somebody. Choose to do something good for yourself. So in the long run, you are a positive factor in the world. Choose to take care of yourself emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically. Choose to do the right thing. Inherently, we know good and bad, right and wrong, for the most part, right? And we don't succeed 100% of the time, but let's try and do it more than 50%. I mean, obviously, we want to do better, closer to 100%, right? We ourselves feel that what we are doing is just a drop in the ocean, but the ocean would be less because of that missing drop. Mother Teresa. Pema Chudrun. You are the sky. Everything else, it's just the weather. What are you going to do with the weather? That one's a kind of esoteric. You may have to think about that one a little bit. You are the sky. Everything else is just the weather. I guess it goes back to the whole you can control what's inside, not what's outside. The sky is the sky. The weather comes and goes, passes, goes through. There's beautiful, there's torrential rains, there's storms, there's calm, there's nourishing weather, there's devastating weather. That's everything that goes on inside of us, inside of our mind, inside of our hearts. However, we can control some of that. That's the difference between the sky and us. The sky is the sky. We can control some of what's going on. If we feel there's a maelstrom going on inside us where we just can't find our balance. We can't find, we can't find our even keel. We can try and take steps. Talk to somebody. Seek help. Infuse your mind with positivity. And control that weather inside. You are the sky. Everything else, it's just the weather. Pema Chudrun. Zig Ziglar. Difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations. The best is yet to come. Oh, but I've waited for good things to come. I've waited and they never come. Okay. Did you go down the difficult road? Or did you just, let's see where life takes me? And it's like the leaf going down the gutter. Let's see where life takes me. Or you're like, I need to make some choices. I want to get there, but it looks hard. If you take that challenge, you will reach that goal. And if you fail, you will at least be closer to that achievement and that accomplishment. And if you start again, you're that much closer because now you have the experience of where you've gotten. Difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations. The best is yet to come. Zig Ziglar. T.S. Eliot. This sounds familiar. Every moment is a fresh beginning. What? Didn't Al Guevara just say every single moment we're alive is a chance at rebirth? T.S. Eliot and I, we're like this. Every moment is a fresh beginning. We choose. If I yelled at somebody, the next moment I can make a decision to take that back or change it or apologize or continue to yell at them. If I had a negative thought in my head, the next moment I can choose to banish that thought or embrace it and dwell in it and allow it to drag me down into the morass and darkness of despair. It's your choice. What are you going to do? If your day is stressful, are you going to allow it to just keep getting you stressful or take a moment and stop? Shake your head and your spine and shake off that cold water like the dogs do. You decide. You decide. And it's hard sometimes. Sometimes it seems the stress is unrelenting and the work is unrelenting and the criticism and the bad vibes and negativity are unrelenting. I know. Some days are more stressful than others. But every moment is a fresh beginning. T.S. Eliot. Charlie Chaplin. Nothing is permanent in this wicked world. Not even our troubles. That just goes back to the whole, this too shall pass. Don't be Gandalf. You shall not pass. Yes, let it pass. Let it go. Nothing is permanent in this wicked world, not even our troubles. Look back at the devastation and the heartache and the troubles and uprisings and everything throughout the history of the world and how much of it is in the past. Yeah, there's some in the future. But don't worry about the future. Don't worry about things that could happen, troubles that may occur. Don't worry about that. What are we doing now? What are you doing for yourself? What are you doing to change yourself for the positive? What are you doing to affect the world in a positive way? That's what we need to worry about. Nothing is permanent in this wicked world, not even our troubles. Charlie Chaplin. Chad, this proverb. It's all it says is proverb. Just when the caterpillar thought the world was ending, he turned into a butterfly. Why, that goes back up to the best is yet to come, right? Just when the caterpillar thought the world was ending. Why? Because it got all cocooned up. All cocooned up. Even worse, and I don't know if the caterpillar knows this or not, but its whole body turns into goo, basically, inside the cocoon. And then somehow, miraculously, magically, and through not only metamorphosis, but also through struggle to escape from that cocoon, the struggle strengthening and finishing the transformation, because he has to push out of that cocoon, and in the pushing out of that cocoon, he is strengthening his ability and wings and body to turn into a butterfly, an entirely new creature, beautiful new creation, built through transformation and struggle, on to a new world. Just when the caterpillar thought the world was ending, he turned into a butterfly. Proverb. Don't forget to share this video. I appreciate you. I appreciate you watching. And I appreciate you sharing. Let's get this type of information out to as many people as possible. Hopefully it affects them in a positive way. Hopefully it helps you. Last one. Last quote for a stressful day. Jack Cornfield. In the end, just three things matter: how well we have lived, how well we have loved, and how well we have learned to let go. How well we have lived, how well we have loved, how well we have learned to let go. Of all these three, which one do you think is the most important to you? Which one do you think is the most important? I know what I think. Just because I think I'm reading this for the first time. Just from reading it right now. I think how well we have learned to let go. Why do I think that's the most important one? Because when we learn to let go, we learn to live better. And we learn to love better. That's why I think how well we have learned to let go is the most important of these three things that matter in the end. I do these videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. as often as possible. And I invite you to check them out. I share them on my Twitter and my Instagram, on my other pages. And I'm starting to put yesterday I just put the audio for the one I did on Friday. So hopefully I'll start doing that as well. So you can download that. You can take it along with you in case you don't want to have Facebook open or whatever. Or YouTube. Also on my YouTube page. So please share them. Let people know this is what we do. We want to change the world for the better. Where in the end, just three things matter: how well we have lived, how well we have loved, how well we have learned to let go. Jack Cornfield. I thank you for joining me today on a Monday, very, very cold Monday where we're at. Probably where you're at as well. If you're watching this sometime in the future, I thank you for checking it out as well. Check out my other videos. We talk about quotes that affect us as passengers on this spaceship we call Earth and the life that we live together. I hope you got something from today's quotes. If you didn't get a chance to check it out live, check it out from the beginning. I put the link to the article on the comments. Check them out for yourself. Spend some time with them. Hopefully they'll make your life better as well. And I hope you have a wonderful day today. It's cold where I'm at. Hope you're warm and safe and make the next moment in your life a change for the positive. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your time. Enjoy your loved ones. Live well, love well, and learn to let go. Until next time, we'll be talking.